Welcome, this is Merick Ulrik Talks Battletech, and today I'm talking about my favorite way to do indirect fire. So listen up, here we go. Here's the rules for LRM indirect fire as stated in the Total Warfare Manual for Battletech on page 111. LRM indirect fire. Units armed with LRM type weapons may fire those missiles indirectly. Indirect fire allows a unit without a direct line of sight to a target to attack that target through a friendly ground unit must have a valid line of sight to the target. This unit is referred to as the spotter. In order to serve as a spotter, the unit must not have charged or launched a death from above attack that turn. An attacker with a valid line of sight to a target cannot make an LRM indirect fire attack, even if that attack would be a better to hit modifier. Resolve LRM indirect fire attacks in the turn that they are launched. The base to hit number is the firing unit's gunnery skill. Use the following modifiers. Range modifiers based on the range between the target and the firing unit, including the minimum range modifiers. A +1 for indirect fire. All standard modifiers for target movement. All standard modifiers for target movement and modifier for the spotter's movement. Infantry have no attacker movement modifier for spotting. Remember that. It's going to be important. Terrain modifiers based on the line of sight from the spotting unit. This includes the +1 if partial cover exists between the spotting unit and the target unit. If no spotting unit is required due to an attack with a NARC missile beacon, for example, no terrain modifiers apply, regardless of whether partial cover shields the target from either. The spotting unit or the attacker unit damage values groupings with LRM indirect fire strike the target and not the partially covered, even if they hit a leg location. The exception is if the partial cover is provided by water. In this case, the indirect fire strikes the water and does not damage unless it's an area effect weapon. See partial cover on page 102 and area effect weapon on page 113. Finally, if a unit makes any attack during the weapons attack phase of a turn that it also spots for another unit, apply a 1+ modifier for those attacks as well as a 1+ modifier to the indirect fire attack. That's a lot to spit out, but if the spotting unit makes no attack, do not apply these additional modifiers. The spotter can spot for any number of attacking units to a single target, but it cannot spot for multiple targets. That's the rules for LRM indirect fire, and LRMs is what you use for indirect fire. Here we go into the talk. Hey guys, Merick here. It's been a while since we talked a little bit of Battletech talk, and so it came to my attention that I don't know why it's always appealed to me, the idea of indirect fire, and I do like playing the clan. So comment in below if you think indirect fire is Desgra for the clans, but I still like using it, and there's a lot of reasons why you can justify using indirect fire as a clanner in Battletech. But so the traditional way people do indirect fire to me is it doesn't really work very well usually. If you use a lot of times what people will use a mech, a light mech that will go out there and spot for, say, a heavy mech like a Kraken or a Bane, or even a Mad Dog, or a Vulture as it's called. Isn't that cool? I like that. That's a cool looking design. But there's some reasons why indirect fire doesn't work very good sometimes, because first of all, there's different things you can do. So I started doing a Battletech video about NARC missile beacons and about tag. And so I did some Mega Mech experiences, and the videos would turn out really long. So I probably won't add those, I might add them in the comments below with separate videos, for one for narc and one for tag. But most of the time, people will use a spotter for indirect fire, and so there's some reasons why it might be good to do indirect fire, because you can do damage on your opponent before they can actually do any damage to you. So you can kind of rain the sky, turn the sky black with missiles, blot out the sun with a stream of missiles, and hopefully do some damage, paint off some of that, tear off some of that armor on those behemoth mechs, these assault mechs and large mechs, so you have a better chance of facing them head on. But here's the problem. You already have a 1+ modifier for indirect fire. You have your spotter movement modifier, and you have your attacker movement modifier. So those numbers can get really high, So one thing I found out, if you leave a mech standing still, so you get good movement modifiers for the spotter, then that mech is going to be a sitting target for incoming attacks. And light mechs are usually used as spotters, but if they're running around, they get a +2, +1. That's a 3+ automatically on the targeting numbers. And God forbid they're medium or long range, that's a 5+ at least to the targeting numbers. And if your gunnery skill is a 4, that's a 9 to it. And if they're long range, there's 11. So you're looking at really high numbers to hit, 9s to 11s at least with indirect fire. So that doesn't work too well usually, because you want to have better targeting numbers. Also, if you're using a lot of missile boats, they are ammunition limited. So like maybe they have 16 or 12 rounds of ammunition, which is pretty good. But if you're going to waste those on you're going to waste. Plus, you got your target's moving modifier. They're not just standing still; they're moving around. So you might not even get 12 sometimes when your target's moving. That you got to add their movement modifier. So very hard to hit with indirect fire the traditional way, and that's when you use maybe narc missile beacon, because it takes the spotter's movement modifier out of the way. The narc missile beacon, though, has some limitations. One is the range. I believe on the narc missile beacon, it's a 9 long range. I'll pull that up in a second here, but yeah, you have the range of the narc missile beacon, and so because the narc missile beacon is ammunition, also it has a limited amount of ammunition. So like you don't want to be wasting the narc missile beacon when you have terrible numbers to hit, so you don't want that. So that's a problem too. And narc missile beacon too can be overcome by ECM suite. So you're not even going to have the benefit of the narc missile beacon if you have mechs or vehicles with ECM technology. So like for instance, let me look at a mech that has I want to verify for sure the range on that. We'll look at the Masakari or the Warhawk B. I just want to see the range of this. I want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Yeah, the narc missile beacon. Okay, the clan narc missile beacon is a 12 long range. That's long range, and 8 is medium range. And so if you have a limited number of these narc missile beacons to fire out, you got to remember you're going to have to get within range. So like at 20 hexes away, you're not going to be able to hit nothing. At 12, you're going to have long range. It's +4, and so you don't want to waste a lot. You're going to have to wait till you're at least within 8 to have only that +2 modifier to hit with a narc missile beacon. So, and it's just ammunition limited. And so the other thing too is like, say you have a few mechs equipped with narc missile beacon, you're using pod space there on a lot of these, and your ammunition limited. Also, it can be taken out with an ECM suite. So the thing to me is like you have to get so close to really get good targeting numbers. Short range on a narc missile beacon is 4 hexes. That's pretty close. So that's limited. That's why a lot of people use tag. Tag is not one cool thing about tag is it's not done during the movement modifier or the attacking movement modifier. It's a separate phase in between movement and attack phase. So that's kind of cool. So you can still attack with all your weapons and target your opponent. Let's look at something that has tag. Let me get the range on tag, because I can't remember offhand, and I don't want to lie. Let's look at I think it's the A. Fire Moth A has tag, I believe. Yeah, it does. So better range on tag. It's 15 is long range. It's the 3 more hexes. Not, medium is 9, so you're going to have better chance of hitting things with tag than with the Narc missile beacon. And it's not ammunition driven, and it's a primitive weapon system that is not affected by ECM suites. So tag is pretty cool because you can do that during the weapons phase. But I mean, if you have a few units with tag and they get destroyed, like say you have a fire moth A, and maybe you have a ebon jaguar that has the tag. I think it's the A or the B, I believe, that has the tag. It might be A, I think, that has the tag. But once those units are gone, your indirect fire benefit with those is gone. So that's the thing I would say. Like, yeah, the Ebon Jaguar. No, that's not. It's the B. I think it's the B that has the tag. I think that's a beast right there. So my philosophy with using indirect fire doesn't involve narc, and it doesn't involve tag, and it doesn't involve these guys, mechs as spotters, because you're going to be adding a lot of modifiers with the movement, or you're going to be a sitting target. But the beauty of it, as we heard in the introduction, infantry units, and yes, elementals are considered an infantry unit. And infantry units do not require a movement modifier to target. So when they're using their turn to spot for your fire support mechs, or your indirect firing mechs with the LRM carriers, these guys can be jumping around. They can jump 3 hexes max. These elementals are battle armor. And so they actually, if they jump 3 hexes, they get that +1 for jumping, and then the 3 hex movement, that's 2 modifiers, and they get another attacker modifier, to hit modifier to target them, the defensive modifier, as elementals. They get a +1. So that's 3 modifiers. That's a 3 modifier every turn. So they can have a little bit more success getting away from getting killed, and they're very pesky to be destroyed. And so I believe the elementals make great spotters. And the thing about it too is, if you're using tag or narc for indirect fire as your spotter, for this, to avoid the spotter modifier, it's gonna be a gamble. Sometimes you're gonna hit, sometimes you're not. But if you have a elemental with a line of sight on a mech, it's always going to be able to spot. Always going to, and it's always going to be able to target that vehicle or that mech because it has a line of sight. So if you can get one of these elementals, clan elementals, in the line of sight of your target, they make a great spotter. Now you do have to add the +1 spotter modifier. That goes because it's not narc or tag. With tag or narc, you remove this +1 spotter fire, the +1 automatic modifier for spotting, and you also remove all movement modifiers and terrain modifiers. But the cool thing is, you also can use these units as deadly weapons on your opponent. As you know, like, if you can get a battle armor unit in range with their LRM2, SRM2, excuse me, or their machine guns, medium LR or lasers or whatever, they can add up damage quickly. So that's the first side of my indirect fire strategy, is using elementals. And what's cool is, like, if you have a whole star of elementals, you got 5 of these bad boys on the field. They're not too expensive. The cheapest clan elemental battle armor is, like, I don't know, like 350 BV, and then they go up a little bit higher, but not too much. So they're pretty cheap. So you can add a whole star, use your whole little box set, your star of elementals as your spotters, and they do a great job. But you only need a spot with one of them, and the rest of the I want to say the right word, not stars, but the rest of the points, other points of elementals can attack if they got better modifiers to hit and those kind of things. And these guys can be jumping around, getting that 3+ to hit, so they're not just sitting ducks while they spot. So I think that's really cool. Now, my second tip for indirect fire is, I've thought about this a bunch. Is it, like, I've played some games with players, and I've also played some games with online with Megamech and different things. But I've used indirect fire several times. And one thing you have is, at some point, indirect fire is going to become it's going to become a moot point, because once your enemy gets close enough to you to where you have a line of sight, you can't use indirect fire, and then all you've got is your weapon systems that you have, in your mech. So sometimes it's better to have something that punches through armor and not just a whole bunch of LRM carriers, because they're going to be doing like a shotgun effect, plastering off, shredding off the armor of your enemies, but it doesn't have a whole lot of punching power, because most you're going to get in one blast is 5 missiles. So I think mechs like the Vulture are kind of cool, because yes, it doesn't have a whole lot of ammunition. The Mad Dog, as the clanners called him, doesn't have a whole lot of ammunition for indirect. It has 2 LRM-20s, I think the Prime variant, I believe, or I might be saying it wrong, but one of the variants has 2 LRM-20s, but it only has 6. Basically, you can fire both at six shots piece. The cool thing about that is you can use it while there's no line of sight if you have a spotter, and then when you get in closer range, you can use those 2 clan large pulse lasers and not worry about overheating, because you probably already used your missiles. So that's one cool thing. But you can use different mechs too. I like the Blood Asp. This one that needs to be painted. It still needs to be painted. I got primed but not painted. I've been kind of lazy. There's a variant that has 2 LRM-20s, I think, with 12 rounds of ammunition, with also has the Artemis 4. And it also has a Gauss rifle and 4 medium pulse lasers. So even though, like this variant of the Blood Asp, you can use it as a missile boat, but when you get close, it still has freaking Gauss rifle and 4 or 5 medium pulse lasers. I can't remember if I might be saying it wrong. I think it's 4 or 5. It's one of my favorite mechs, I think, right now. Yeah, it's the Blood Asp B. It has 4 medium pulse lasers, a Gauss rifle, and it also has an ECM suite, and it has LRM-20s with Artemis 4. So if it does get in range and you haven't used out all those missiles, you get the +2 to the modifier for the cluster table. So I think the idea of, instead of just taking a Kraken, which you can take a Kraken or a Bane, this one needs to be painted as well. And they have, I believe it has, how many LRM? I think it has 8 LRM 15s, which is pretty deadly. But I mean, it moves really slow, so you want to have it hidden somewhere where you can use indirect fire and just stay sitting. If you're using indirect fire, you almost always want to have your firing unit that's firing the indirect fire attack still, or a walk only if you have to, because you want to lessen the amount of modifiers for that dice roll when you're trying to get that to hit number. So another good missile boat, if you're a Novacat, is the Novacat. I believe it's a Novacat B. I mean, it has I think it has 6 LRM-15s. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of missiles. But I like bringing some. Another variant that I like is a Direwolf. I believe it's a W, and some people don't like this because it has a little bit of everything. But the Direwolf W has 1 LRM-20, I think, with like 12 rounds. And then it has it has all kinds of weapons. I think it has I believe it has the, well, let's just find out for sure. But I believe it has the Ultra AC-20, which is one of the most powerful weapons in Battletech, and I think it has a Gauss rifle. Oh my god! And 2 medium pulse lasers. So I think it's a fun. So if you have a splattering of other units that you maybe like the Blood Asp, or you could even use an adder. That there's a missile boat with I think it's only like 1300 BV that has 2 LRM-20s. And then there's one that has LRM-15s with the Narc missile beacon. It has more ammunition, but less punch because it's 2 LRM-15s instead of 2 LRM-20s. But I like having units that also pack a punch. So as you're undercover and you have your little battle armor elementals doing some damage, and you're attacking your enemy is probably trying to advance towards you so they can do some direct fire attacks on you. You can still do some real damage to them when they finally get to you. And maybe you can plaster off some of their armor and give them some critical hits before they are targeted. All right, so I recorded a video of me playing Megamech, and it's kind of long, but I used this theory, and I show you how it worked out against, I think I used the what is it called? I forget what they call it, the set Megamech enemy bot. But so check out the video. I'm going to end this video with that. But tell me what you think about my strategy for for indirect fire. So if you understand what I'm talking about, we're using clan elementals as spotters. Using clan elementals as spotters because they don't get the movement modifier added to the targeting numbers. And we're using a mixture of mechs. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you could use it with all missile boats. But I just always like that. You want to have something to back them up. You want to have some firepower to protect your missile boats, whether it's inside that mech or a kind of like a guardian mech that kind of stays back there with you. You want to have something deadly to protect your missile boats. The other thing too about missile boats that can be really damaging, even with case, is ammunition explosions. If you get a critical on the ammo of a LRM-20, man, it can be devastating. Probably take off a whole side. And with a lot of the Omni-Mechs, you're going to get 2 engine hits, and you're taking out one whole side of that mech. So you really want to use up as much ammunition as you can before you get into targeted range, and you don't want to get up close and personal with some bad boys with ERPPCs or anything like that. Well, anyways, check out this video. And tell me what you think. It's kind of long, but we're gonna switch to my game of Mega Mech and see how that went and see what you thought about that. I also did some videos about NARC missile beacons and tag and using a mech as a spotter instead of this strategy that I always use with elementals. The cool thing about using elementals too is you can also shoot with them. And say your elementals get whittled down to you only have one battle armor troop, one guy left. You can still use him for spotting. I mean, even if he's out of SRM2s, maybe he's down to his one primary weapon, he can spot and do a lot more damage with indirect fire if you've got enough fire support raining down the thunder. So tell me what you think about this video. Comment. Let me know if you think indirect fire is a clan thing to do or not. I always kind of like the Hell's Horses Ada Galaxy and their lore. They're kind of the Desgra-ish, I'd say, clanners, the Ada Galaxy. Anyways, but you can use it whether Intersphere or clan, but you use infantry as spotters. They don't get that movement modifier, and they're pretty cheap to put on the board. So, and tell me what you think about that. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and we're going to have some new videos coming up here with me and Cleve on the Midnight Review coming back here in the next couple of days or weeks. Anyways, have a great day, and tell me what you think about this Battletech video. Talk to you guys later. All right, so that last turn was kind of bumpy, you might say. Was not good. My Vapor Eagle got ambushed. I should have been smarter than that, but we haven't done any indirect fire yet. We have done 0 indirect fire. That's not good. So let's get the indirect fire thing going. That's the whole point of this video. I'm gonna move forward with our elementals, so hopefully we'll have some spotting opportunities here. I think we will. I really will. And there's a reason why I use elementals for spotting. Is because infantry has no targeting movement modifier. No target movement modifier, which makes for them to have a very low number when it comes to their extra modifiers when using them as spottifiers. You still get the 1+. You still get the 1+ for the indirect fire spotting modifier, but you still get that. But it's pretty cool. Now we're gonna move here. All right, I don't think we got that. We haven't got the initiative one time so far. Maybe we got it this time. I don't know. But my Vapor Eagle wants revenge. I can tell you that. We want to get revenge on that freaking Dasher. The dang Dasher got me. Don't like it. I don't like it. No, 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 no. I don't like it. All right, see what we can do here. I guess we're gonna go ahead and see if we can pay back this SOB for what he did to me. He's already moved. So we'll get some back shots on the Dasher. Okay, he's gonna shoot back, but I don't think he's got that. Can he rotate his arms? He's not gonna get all his shots on me this time. All right, do we have any spotters who could spot? Let's see, can this guy spot? Can this guy finally spot? No, he can't see that guy. Still, all this tree cover makes for no spotting opportunities. That's what sucks. So now we just kind of have a dueling between the Fire Moth and Oh, and he already kind of maimed me here. I hate that he got an engine hit. I hate that. But, well, it happens. All stuff happens. Machine guns, no heat. Let's see. We're going to fire those streaks for sure. They only give heat if they hit. More machine guns. Medium pulse laser. Medium pulse. Man, he's got some nice medium pulse lasers. Should I fire one more medium pulse laser? It's going to put me a little overheat, but, man, I need to. It'll be 5 overheat. Usually it's heat neutral, or he's going to be 1 overheat. That's if the streaks hit. So the large pulse laser is going to be a little bit too much to do. So we're going to lay off that. Sucks, but I'm going to lay off that because that engine hit. Let's see if I can destroy the dasher this round. No other targets available. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, he hit my left leg. Didn't do any bad damage like he did last time. The machine guns hit. Man, nothing else hits. Oh, the medium pulse laser hits, and center torso is destroyed. All right, got payback on that little fire moth and destroyed it with the Vapor Eagle. Completely destroyed it. All right, so that's 1 round done. All right, let's see here. So we finally got the initiative this time. All right, so hopefully we can get some spotting opportunities, though we haven't gotten any spotting opportunities yet. Let's see here. Do I need to unload these guys? You started to unload them, okay. We need to get all these guys unloaded. We should have unloaded them a long time ago. Should have unloaded those guys a long time ago. But we should get some spotting opportunities. I think we should. We should. And then if we can spot, we'll do some indirect fire. And hopefully this will be a good example of using... Here we go. Now, we want to move these elementals in a position where they won't get shot by all of those mechs right there. So I'm not sure. I'm going to wait a second. Wait a second. They're the only ones that can reach anybody, though. These guys are not going to be able to reach anybody. Is anybody else going to move up there? Get out of the way. Is that Shadowcat Prime going to move? Move this Puma S. The Puma S, I love it. Has so many machine guns. I love the machine guns. And, okay, I think I see a target here. I think I see a target. Now, the good thing about this terrain is there is so much foliage, you might say, that it keeps them from getting targeted by a whole bunch of different people. A lot of different mechs, unless they're right on you. They can't really do anything. Jump. I'm afraid to put this guy into harm's way, but you know, we can get behind enemy lines here for sure. Maybe next turn we can have an interesting target. Yeah. Okay. Now I think I have one guy who can spot. Where's my spotter? Yeah. So he's going to spot on this guy, which is dangerous. He's putting his neck on the line because he's not going to be firing this turn. Now he's spotted. Now we're going to go with our fire support here. Indirect. I have a few missiles to fire. Let's see if we can get some 10s. Not perfect, but not terrible. Let's see here. Nobody can shoot from that guy. Can't shoot. Let's see here. Mode. So we got a lot of missiles we can target at this. Oh, this guy's going to be just in medium range. I like it. I like it. So it's done. He doesn't have a target. Twist. Man, I didn't see that he was in range of this guy. I thought maybe he wouldn't be. That's just not good. Not good. No, that's not going to work. A large pulse laser. Fire. All right, got some more missiles to fire here. I think this is going to be a good turn here if my Vapor Eagle doesn't get vaporized by that Kodiak. That's a big if. Didn't see that there. All right, got good numbers. So I had 7s, 8s, and 10s to hit with those missiles. Let's see, Stormcrow missed at the elementals. The Direwolf missed with its LRM-20s. The Shadowcat hit the Puma S in the left torso. Man, I didn't think I had any targets on that. 5 armor remained. The Blood Asp did get 1 salvo of missiles in. Did some damage on the Shadowcat, but not too much. Let's see, the Kodiak missed everything on the Vapor Eagle. Good. The Vapor Eagle did hit with a large pulse laser and 1 Streak SRM-2. That's good, and a medium pulse laser. So we got a little bit of damage. The Kodiak's got a lot of armor though. The Puma did hit with 2 racks LRM-20. So we stripped off some armor on that Shadowcat Prime with those indirect fire. Okay, so that was, we're at round 7 and we're just now doing damage. So it's been like a long time to get any damage going. So yeah, it's taken us a while, and we got the initiative again this time, so that's kind of luckily. So we're gonna jump, move around, kind of get back in position. Gonna get in position. Hopefully we can find some targets here. We'll have some targets here. We will have some targets. I'm gonna wait to move that guy. Okay, let's move some other mechs. Done. So one of the things I do when I use indirect fire, I'm usually keeping these mechs stationary. They're way far away, undercover. They're not going to move. They're going to stay still so they get better targeting numbers. Yeah, it's maybe not a very clan thing to do, but it is a very practical thing to do. I don't know if you want to call it practical or whatever. So to me, I think it's a very practical move to make. Don't know where that Shadowcat Prime is going to go, and I'm kind of weary of it. I want to have something to target, though. I got a lot of mechs I need to move still. I want to move that Elemental last. I really do. The Puma S is going to go. Can I turn? No, it's going to be run. Let's go right here. Hopefully I can get... Hopefully it doesn't jump behind me. I'm kind of worried about that. I am worried. I'm gonna back up, actually. Kind of a safety thing. Alright, so the Shadowcat moved. I'm glad he did, so now I can move behind him, and we have good targeting numbers, and he can't really get a whole lot of shots off him. I think he does have, he can move some of his arms backwards, I think, but we'll see. Okay, we're gonna move there. Now we definitely have something to target. Does the Kodiak have lower arm actuators? That's what I want to see. Does the Kodiak have lower arm actuators? Maybe somebody already knows that. But let's see. Right arm. Yes, it does have lower arm actuators. That means it cannot spin its arms all the way around like a rifleman or other mechs like that. So we're going to just do some Desgra. They already try to put... we're going to fly behind him and shoot him in the back. How Desgra-like, right? But I mean, they've already punched me while I was kicked me, so I will go ahead and use any combat we can use. I'll fly behind. Alright. Alrighty, now we got some opportunities for indirect fire again, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to target this Shadowcat because we want to get rid of it. We want to take it down. Got to take it down. What spot? Yeah, and then we're going to fire all these missiles. Let's just go ahead, twist. Let's get long range. Oh, not great numbers. Not great numbers. We're wanting to do more damage. Maybe that was a bad idea. We're gonna have to start moving forward, I think, because not getting very good numbers here. Too far away. May have to start advancing. Yeah, with that guy jumping around, it gave us some really high targeting numbers, but at least we're not getting shot at right now. I'm thinking, yeah, we're gonna have to move closer. Those are probably not going to hit because those are so far away. I should have targeted something else. Maybe something that was moving slower. We might get lucky, get a few hits. Doesn't look good. Those guys are going to attack us, but we're going to go ahead and fire with everything we got on these guys. 4s to hit. They're all pretty much going to hit. Anybody else got a shot? That guy doesn't have a shot, Donald. Does he have a shot? You'd think he would have a shot, but he doesn't. Uh-oh. Novacat Prime's shooting at that guy. Okay, we're gonna... I'm at high heat already because I didn't dissipate all the last heat. Definitely need to shoot the machine guns. I think I'm going to be very more careful because I've got to start the streaks. Yes, they're only doing heat if they hit. Machine gun. We'll do 1 medium pulse laser fire and do 1 more medium pulse laser. Be a little overheat because I got that engine hit, right? All right, let's go for this. See what happens. Novacat misses. Bloodass misses. Misses. Except hits 1. Everybody's kind of missing here. I got to get better targeting numbers. Those 11s, they're no good. Oh, the Vapor Eagle took a hit to the center torso, but still has 21 armor remaining. But look, those battle armor elementals are doing some damage. Get a gyro hit on that Stormcrow. It can do some damage. It can do some damage. Now the Vapor Eagle did do some damage to the Kodiak's rear armor. Left torso. Okay, but basically we haven't done a whole lot of damage with indirect fire, and this is supposed to be like a message on indirect fire. We haven't done a lot of damage. Wow, okay, the Stormcrow misses, and then it has a gyro hit, so it falls doing damage, and it takes a pilot takes a damage too. So that was a good roll for the elementals, doing great. So I lost the initiative there. We're in round 9, and as you can imagine, this is kind of long and slow because doing indirect fire sometimes is just kind of a grind. It's not that exciting because you're kind of dodging their cover and doing stuff. So yeah, we didn't get the initiative, but I'm going to go ahead and start moving forward because we're probably not going to get a good shot on these guys from this far away. So we're going to start moving forward. And this is going to be slow and cumbersome. But we need to get some better targeting numbers. I'm keeping my fire support lance together. Now, the cool thing about this fire support, not lance, but fire support mechs I have, the Direwolf and the Bloodass have a lot of other weapons besides just missiles. So it kind of makes them deceptive. So I'm enjoying shooting at these guys from far away with indirect fire, but then I'm definitely going to do some more damage as soon as I can when I get closer. So hopefully I can wear them down before I get there. That's the idea. That is the idea. See what that, I don't know what that Shadowcat Prime is going to do. The S, should I get in the battle here? Okay, so yeah, I'm going to see if I can get closer to that. I don't know if the Gauss shot can go very far. I can get closer. Not that guy. Let's see here. Yeah, so it's a little bit anticlimactic, I guess, doing it this way because we're the battle seems like it's taking just so long to do. I get it. It's kind of but it is kind of fun. All let's see what this goes on. Now, I think we do have some people that can do some indirect fire here. Oh god, that one group of elementals got kind of cornered there. Wonder if these guys can do some indirect fire. Yeah, I think we're gonna check on the Kodiak. Let me see some. Alright. These guys don't have a shot. This battle is a little bit slower and longer. Probably just because. I don't know, taking out a Kodiak from this far away is probably not ideal. Let's see, we're in medium range now. We're at 10s. If we hadn't ran, we would have some better targeting numbers, but we ran. We had to get back into medium range. The tail end of medium range here. 11s aren't good. They're not good. Oh man, can he flip his arms? But he's not in range here. Twist. All right, we can get some shots in on this guy. I like the medium pulse lasers, I do. I like them. 17s, not gonna hit with that. 10s. Or that one. Straight 2s. Nope. Okay. Again, I wish we had better numbers, but it is what it is. Nova Cat hits some elementals. This is just kind of a slow moving battle. But anyway, so this is one way to do indirect fire. These battles just tend to kind of be long. We did a lot of damage. Since the elementals do so much more damage than you can believe. There's so many, for a small bit of a BV, they can really just do a lot. And they're crit seeking too, because they got so many different weapons. Oh my god, I got so lucky. The elemental troop number 5 had a ammo explosion on the Kodiak. And it's doing the pilot has blacked out. We've just taken out their assault mech with an elementals. I mean, that's not due to indirect fire. But now we got another LRM-20 hit with 9 missiles hitting the Kodiak, and the Shadowcat Prime, the adder hit, did some damage to its upper leg and jump jets. That's great. So some good stuff happening here. A lot of LRMs missed, but still some good stuff happening here. Yeah. Tide of the battle's turning a little bit here. Wow. Fired Ultra AC-20 at the battle armor. Missed though, thank God. It's crazy. All right, I think we're getting some good damage here. The Kodiak automatically falls to some major damage. Yep, cool. Oh, very cool. All right, let's see what's going on here. We're doing good. Killed some of my troopers with stomping on them. All right, let's get going here. Kodiak is shut down. Okay, we didn't get initiative here. So I think we're gonna keep all our guys here stationary, because we're going to be doing indirect fire on a stationary mech, which is going to be just an easy target, complete easy target, because he's not going to be moving. So indirect fire can work, but I like having different stages of combat where you have other support up front, so that you're not, it's not just indirect fire happening. There's a lot of stuff going on too, a lot of different things happening. So
I like that. So we've been doing some damage. We've been getting lucky here. I think that Kodiak is going to be a great target. So we're going to jump here. Maybe here, because it's like some good cover. And I'm going to get my other guy out of there. This guy's getting beat up. We're getting out of there. Getting out. Yeah, elementals, battle armor, especially, I just love the elementals. Yeah, they have not, nobody has gotten, they haven't improved on them. I'm sorry, they have not improved on the technology of the battle armor from the elementals, in my opinion. Just, you can do so much damage. It's just so cool. It's very cool. All right, what are we gonna do here? I don't think that the Vapor Eagle should face the mighty Shadowcat head on, because it's just not a very heavily armored mech. Well, it's 55 tons. It is, but I guess it's more heavily armored than the Shadowcat, but it has pulse lasers. Let's just fire some pulse lasers if we get a target. Got to spot. I should have moved more of my guys towards that. These guys are going to get rained on. Okay. Let's fire the indirect fire first. I love it. Gonna have great targeting numbers. Just great targeting numbers. 4s to hit. That's just great. It's just super duper. Nobody can shoot. Yeah, so I mean, from a video standpoint, this is kind of boring because we are you know, I'm playing Mega Mech here, but it's, you know, it's not really audio. Just, but the battle's going well. I guess indirect fire is just such a wicked tool to use because they can't shoot back, really. I mean, they could come scope me out, and that's what maybe they should be doing. They should be attacking my fire support mechs and weeding me out, but they don't seem to be approaching me, so whatever. They don't want to approach, they don't have to approach. So the large pulse laser is a 6 to hit, medium pulse laser is a 6. I think I'm gonna fire 2 medium pulse lasers. Yeah. I'm not gonna fire, well, I could fire a streak. It's only 2 heat, it does. And let's see, medium pulse laser. Gotta love pulse lasers. I love the pulse lasers. All right, that's good enough. We don't go too far over heat. Fire one more streak. Okay, fire one more streak. All right, there we go. All right, more missiles. I love it. More missiles. All right. I mean, I would think that Kodiak's going to be tortured because we have so many missiles firing at it. Yeah, LRM 20, 16 missiles hit. LRM 20 and 16 more missiles hit. Just peppering it. Lost a trooper. The Novacat Prime fired on. ER large laser killed one trooper. The Stormcrow taking out some battle armor. And the Elemental Gauss is the Elemental armors are did an engine hit on the Shadowcat. That's great. All right, critical hit in the center torso, no effect, and then Elementals on the Novacat. Got some damage, but. Alright, still more damage on the Shadowcat Prime, getting torn up. I like it, love it. Shadowcat Prime is destroyed by damage. 2 critical hits. Section destroyed. Got hulled out. So that we got rid of that Shadowcat Prime, and the Kodiak did a lot of damage on that Kodiak too. So we're doing really good, actually. So this example of indirect fire has gone really good right now, except for the Vapor Eagle is the only mech that I got damage on, and that was a stupid mistake because I let that fire moth get my back. So right now we're at 93% of our initial BV, and our enemy is at 61% of initial BV, so that's pretty cool. I lost the initiative again, but I think we did pretty good. We're doing really good. I'm not sure if I need to move forward or what, because I'm not sure if they are going to pursue or if they're going to retreat. Let me see. I mean, I'm not probably going to show this whole battle. We're just going to go to where we get like a victory or a loss in, you know, proportion. If I can take out 50% of their BV and not lose any more BV per se, I would probably just call it for this example of this video, because they're already probably like 45 minutes in. So yeah. All right, jump here. Yeah, let's see, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? Because we got these elementals. Know, should we move forward? Are they backing up? Or are they moving? If they're not backing up, I'm just gonna stay still. If they're not backing up, if they're backing up, then I gotta move forward. They're moving forward. Okay. I'm trying to figure out where to go, what to do. I want to take out that Warhammer. Is a monster beast, though. Warhammer is a beast, just a complete beast. I wouldn't really want to face it head on. No, sir. I'm gonna play it safe, kind of. Alright, so let's spot first with this little tiny group here that has hardly any life. Poor guys, they're gonna just spot for me. And we gotta take out this Kodiak. Or it's dead already, really. I wonder if we should just spot something different. Let's spot the Warhammer. The 2C, because we need to start taking that thing out. It's too dangerous. Too dangerous to be left alone. Alright, so that spot. Let's do our, you know, indirect fire. You know, this kind of stuff, you will run out of ammunition. It'll happen. Okay, 8's not the best, but not terrible. 8's are still kind of hard, high numbers. So, but still, it's not terrible. We can do some damage while they. So we're getting the 8's on the indirect fire. Like I say, it's not the best, but it's not like undoable. It's just we could probably get great targeting numbers if we're still hammering that fallen Kodiak, but I think the elementals are going to be able to take it out this turn. So I don't see a point in wasting an indirect fire target. Okay, no target for them. Can you hit anything? No, possible. We're gonna fire. I want to see some there. I want to see like how. I actually want to view the Kodiak. I want to see like its armor. Where is its armor lowest at? Oh, its torsos or left torso is gone. So center torso maybe? I don't know. Gonna go internal. We want to target the center torso, but I don't know if we should. Should we view? Or should we target the center torso? You know, I thought you can't target. Well, just, you know, we're not going to aim because we're not going to do an aim shot. Basically, what I mean. We're gonna. Let's go to the next. It's kind of acting weird. Okay. Don't aim. It's going to be a -2, so we're going to hit with everything. So, for sure shot. We'll go with the for sure shot. And we'll go with him. Don't aim. Fire. Fire. That'll probably take out the, it probably will. That guy's got no shot. And that guy's got no shot. No shot. Alright. The Nova Cat has destroyed that guy. I think they're dead. We're missing with all these indirect missiles so far. Well, we get 1 rack of missiles out of 6 LRM-20s or 5 LRM-20s. We get 1 to hit. Oh, well, that's something. 12 missiles hit. They're tearing up. Yeah, but I think we've got that Kodiak taken out. Looks like we have. A lot of damage done by the elementals. So the beauty of this technique where you're using elementals for spotters, even when you can't do indirect fire with them, you can get a lot of damage. And so with indirect fire using elementals for spotters or battle armor or any infantry, infantry doesn't get any movement modifiers for targeting modifiers. So that's the reason why I like to use them. Now the other thing too is that they have weapons that they can use. So like you only need to target use one spotter, and with that, with one spotter you'll have what's the word, with one spotter you can multiple people can use that data. So like if you have one spotter and then your fire support fires on everybody the same, you can I don't know if I'm going to have a target. Am I going to have a target this turn? We'll find out. You fire on everybody the same with that one. You can use one for targeting, the rest for something else. I don't know if I want to get my neck sticking out here, but we do need to spot on this guy. Yep. Yeah, so on this game, doing you know, mech attacks are much more difficult with the on Mega Mech. It seems like you really, it's hard to get a to do like a you know, like a swarm attack or a whatchamacallit, if you were to do a leg attack. It seems like those are harder to. Almost the only time it seems like you can get those done correctly on Mega Mech is when a mech is prone and immobile. Then you can usually do it, but it seems like it's hard to do. Spot. Let's see if we can get some more. Last time we didn't get very good movement we didn't get very good targeting numbers. I'm hoping we get better targeting numbers this time. I hope. Let's see. Maybe I should have used the other guys. I should have used that guy to spot, not the other guy. Boy, the guy's going to be eliminated probably this turn. Eliminated. Let's see here. What kind of targeting numbers do we got? 7s, those are good numbers. 7s I like. I like 7s. They're just about in the middle, average almost. Almost, little. It's a good number. And so we've been saving all our other ammunition from we're going to have to start moving our guys who are doing indirect fire out of that situation, and they're going to start doing direct fire. We're going to have to start moving them towards them for that. Alright, I like the medium pulse. The value of the medium pulse, I like 2 medium pulse lasers over 1 large laser. I think the value's better. You get better bang for your buck on your heat and everything else. Let's see. 7s, I like it. So hopefully we do some damage to this Warhammer 2C, because it's got tons of weapons. It is a beast. It is a monster. Nova Cat misses, thank God. The elementals do some damage to the Warhammer 2C. Misses. The Stormcrow misses on my Vapor Eagle. I like that. Elementals do more damage to the Warhammer 2C. So the benefit of this is you get another weapon on the board. Instead of using Narc or Tag or trying to spot with a mech, you get, you know, an infantry unit to do a lot more. And this indirect fire is working. It is getting some damage. So we got, so far, how many racks this turn of LRM-20s? 1, 2. Vapor Eagle did some major damage to that Stormcrow. Got a head hit. A lot of hits. Man, my heat's going to be high on that guy, though. A little bit. And I think we got like 4 racks of LRM 20s hit this turn, doing some major damage to that Warhammer 2C. And the Stormcrow Prime falls, so that's going to be a good target too. I think we're going to have to start moving forward. We're going to go on the initiative here now. Yeah, so things are going good. I'm going to kick because they kicked me the last time, so Desgro effect. All right. Misses. Yes, I'm doing good. Everything seems to be going our way this turn. It doesn't always go this good with indirect fire, but I really like having the elementals as another weapon on the board. It's just a fun weapon to have. A fun weapon. It is just fun. It's good, clean warfare. It's fun, wonderful way to cause destruction. Let me use this guy to spot. This guy's too far out, I think. Well, we're gonna move forward, so maybe not. Hey, babe, Chloe's, she's coming? Yeah. Anyways. So, this battle is going pretty well. I feel like we're gonna win it, so I'm not even, I may cut this video short, but I kind of like to show you the outcome of it. Maybe what I'll do is record the rest of this in a timed, delayed time, and then I can just narrate what happens afterwards and explain to what happens after this battle. So, and I'll explain it all. So, all right. So I kind of want to see this. Let's see this fire phase first, and then I'll speed through the rest of this because it's kind of boring in a way. I know, just me talking over this battle. Let's see. I'm not going to move them. We're going to move these guys first. We're going to get moving. We're going to move forward because it looks like they are on the run, and so we are moving forward. We're moving forward. Let's see here. I want to wait to see where I'm going to move that guy. Strangely, we're going to move the elementals last. Boom S. Going to be a target. See where that guy goes. And the gals. I think we're going to. Wow. You know, you really want to keep this Vapor Eagle moving because you cannot underplay how much damage these mechs can do to it if they get to the back. So I want to stay moving. I'd rather face one of these mechs one-on-one than two-on-one for sure. All right, let's move this guy. It's kind of injured. I'm really curious to see where the Warhammer goes. We don't have the initiative here. We do not have the initiative. How about... Let's see where they go. Okay. Where does everybody go to? Alright, so who... Oh my goodness. Who are we going to spot? Alright. Let me see here. See, I know these guys cannot spot this guy. He's in too much cover. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Spot this guy. I don't think we're gonna get much. Let's see if these guys get hit. See what our target is. So we ran, so the target numbers may not be good. 12s, no, we're not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. 12's not good. Let's go with these guys here. Oh brother. I wonder if I should just fire. Well, we want the indirect fire happening on this Warhammer 2, I think. Or should we just fire directly? I think we're just going to do direct fire. Because we're just not getting in the numbers we're going to want because they ran. So we're just going to do direct fire. And we're going to save our fire for direct fire. Because they're just too bad numbers for targeting. 12s are just like you got to get super lucky to hit anything with 12s. So we're not going to do indirect fire this time because we're just not going to have good numbers. So we might have okay numbers with, maybe I should have, but we're going to fire directly. So we're wasting our indirect fire, I guess. We're just not doing it, but we're going to fire with other guys. I don't mind 12s with machine guns because it doesn't do any heat, and there's so many of them, you might as well fire them. I hate the ammo explosions if you have a bunch of ammo left on, but whatever. Oh, and he ain't got a shot, so there we go. I don't think, no shot. Alright, let's go. Alright, the elementals do a lot of damage. Still, that Nova Cat has a lot of alright. So the rest of the video we're gonna speed up and I'll just narrate what we have left here. It looks like I got some damage to my adder, my S adder, got some damage. Okay, we're gonna speed up this battle and I'll just tell you what happens. I think we're doing pretty good though with indirect fire.
All right, so this little short sped up part in the video, you can't really see the numbers really because it goes really fast, but basically the enemy units got totally decimated. I had 4 mechs left after that and 1 point of elementals. The elementals did get decimated, but 1 point still remained. That was a sacrifice. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. See ya. Have a great day.